and welcome to Live Parkinson's, Live an Exceptional Life. I'm your host, Chris Custenbiner, and I've been living an exceptional life with Parkinson's for the past 15 years. And this is a podcast where we take the science, the strategies, and yes, even the hard stuff about Parkinson's disease, and we turn it into fuel. Fuel to help us move better, think better, connect better, and just flat out live better. If you're brand new here, welcome to the family. And if you're a returning listener, I want to thank you. I really appreciate it. In today's podcast, I want to pay a special tribute to my mom, who recently passed away after suffering with dementia for 16 years. And one of the reasons I want to do that is, number one, she was one of the guiding lights in my life, helping me both through my life as well as during my Parkinson's journey. And secondly, one of the things I've learned over the years is that a person's never really gone, because you can share their legacy with others and others can benefit from what they taught you. So in today's episode, I want to share some of the things that she taught me that have really helped me in my Parkinson's journey, and hopefully can help you in your Parkinson's journey as well. So just to give you a little background, my mom was 86 years old. She had dementia from around the age of 70. She was married to my dad for 66 years, and she had 3 children, all boys, and she had 3 daughter-in-laws, 8 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren, all of whom she loved, and she loved spending time with them. So in essence, from my point of view, my mom was probably one of the most wonderful people that I've ever had in my life, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity to have her as my mom. But it also gave me a unique perspective, having Parkinson's, but then watching someone who has dementia and having to help them. So I played both the caregiver role as well as the person living with Parkinson's. And so I could see the struggles that she was going through and the help that she needed on a daily basis. And it really made me appreciate how caregivers help those of us with Parkinson's and the struggles that they go through. So a lot of times it's difficult to watch, but it's all about helping someone that you love to live their best quality life. So that's what I want to share with you today, is some of the things that she taught me and I've watched her over the years do that have really helped me in my life and in my Parkinson's journey. And hopefully I can do her a service and share those with you, and that you can use those in your life to help you on your Parkinson's journey. Now, one of the first things that I learned from my mom is optimism. She was always optimistic. And if you'd go home and you say, oh, something bad would happen, she'd say, don't worry about it. It's something good is going to come down around the corner. And what that really taught me is that to change my thinking on how I looked at things, because failure isn't necessarily a bad thing. You learn from that and then you go forward. And also just to look at things in a positive manner. We only have one life to live. Why not enjoy the ride and be optimistic? Because when we're positive and optimistic, and we can share that positive energy with others to help them on their journey. My mom never complained. In fact, there was one time, I'll give you a quick story. We were down at the beach and she was walking down the steps. We were getting ready to go home and we were loading up the cars, and she was carrying something down the steps, even though we told her not to. And she missed the last step and broke her ankle. Never complained about pain. Didn't say it bothered her. So we took her to the emergency room. They did an x-ray and found that she had a severe fracture that needed plates and pins. You would have never guessed it. You'd say, where does it hurt? Nope, it doesn't bother me. But that's the type of person that she was. She looked out for others, but she didn't focus on and dwell on the negative. She focused on the positive. And that's the way I've decided to live my Parkinson's journey these last 15 years, is always there. I'm going to face obstacles. There's going to be hard days, but what can I do to get around the obstacles and live my best life? And how can I share that with others? So optimism was one of the big things that she taught me in life. Secondly is commitment. One of the things that she told us growing up is whether we were going out for the class play, the school musical, whether it was high school sports, whether it was track, baseball, football. She said, whatever you start, you have to finish. If you don't want to play next year, that's fine, but you made a commitment to yourself and the team that you're going to finish. And that little lesson has taught me so many valuable things going forward, that there are times when things get tough and you want to quit, but you made a commitment to yourself and to your family that you're going to do the best you can, and you're going to continue to push forward, and you're going to live your best life. So one of the things that I want to share with you is make that commitment to yourself, make that commitment to your family, that sure, there are going to be hard times, but push through, make a commitment to yourself that you're going to do the best you can and live the best life that you want to live. Next is service. Now, my mom was big on service. One of the things that she loved to do was, before she had dementia, was to go boating. Her and my dad would go she would take us out on the river. We would do tubing and water skiing, and then we'd also do some fishing. But they were active members of the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, and they taught the boating safety course. And one of the reasons they did that is because they wanted to get new people involved in boating so that they could enjoy being out on the water like they did, but they wanted people to do it in a safe manner. So they actively participated in teaching and training new people into boating so that they can go out and take their families out and get certified and do it in a safe and effective manner. She was active in her church. She loved to sing in the church choir. She learned to play piano in 60s before she had dementia. She always just loved to help others. If someone was in need, she was one of the first ones there. If someone had someone that was sick in the hospital, she was cooking meals for them or going over and helping them with any household duties that needed done. That's just the type of person she was. It was service to help other people. And that's one of the reasons that I became so actively involved in teaching Parkinson's boxing and pedaling for Parkinson's, is because I want to help others succeed in life. And I love volunteering my time too to help others, because nothing warms my heart, and what used to warm her heart as well, is watching someone that may have had some struggles to succeed and see that they can do it. So service was always something that was big for her. Next was give your best effort. She always told me, whatever you do, when you go out there, just give it your best effort. You're not always going to be the best, but if you can walk away knowing that you gave your best, that's all you can do. I'll give you an example. In the last year or two of her life, she had some help. She would get urinary tract infections, or she had pneumonia and would have to be in the hospital and then go to rehab. But as part of rehab, they would have her work with physical therapy and occupational therapy. And when I would watch her in physical therapy, no matter what the physical therapist asked her to do, she would do it. They would push her, and she would do what they asked her to do, even though it was difficult for her. So she always taught me to give it your best shot. And that's one of the things that I want to share with you, is that when you have those days that are tough, go out there and do your best. So maybe if you're having balance issues and you were going to go to the gym and do walking or something else, switch it up and do something else. But give it, whatever it is, give it your best shot, and that's going to help you in the long run. And then next is being grateful. She was grateful for what she had. My mom didn't want to be a millionaire. She didn't want to have fancy things. She was a very simple person, just loved to spend time with her family, but she was always grateful. I remember asking her once a hypothetical question. If you could go back to your 20s again, would you like to go back and be 20 and live from then on? And she said, absolutely not. She said, I've lived a great life and I'm grateful for everything I've had. So she was grateful for her marriage, her family, her kids, and her grandkids. That was one of the things that she loved doing, is spending time, whether it was on a weekend or a holiday. We would go on vacations. We would go down to the Outer Banks as a family, go to the beach. We would go to a lake and go boating as a family. that was what she lived for. She was always grateful for being together with family and friends, and she loved to travel. And then finally, she was caring. And like I said, like I mentioned earlier, living with Parkinson's, a lot of times it's hard to put yourself in the caregiver's shoes. But when you watch somebody struggle with a devastating disease like dementia and have to help them with things that they used to be able to do easily by themselves, it really helps you understand from a different perspective what someone that's helping us with Parkinson's goes through. So caring is something that I always try to do. I'm always trying to help other people out based on what she taught me. So those are some of the key principles, but I just wanted to pay tribute to her because I think that all the things that she taught me in life are things that have helped me in my Parkinson's journey and can help others. But I just wanted to pay tribute to one of the kindest people in in my life, and I'm going to miss her dearly. But she lives on in my heart, and I want to thank you for listening. And hopefully, you can take away something from this episode. And I hope to see you on future episodes. And have a great day. Thanks again.